Hello everyone, this is Waning Moonlight, and today I got a weird message saying, if you're so good at souls, why not beat at level 36 with a plus for a weapon? I'm like, buddy, I already got a long list of different challenge runs to do. And then I realized I don't, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this little challenge. Level 36 with a plus for a weapon. But then, after thinking about it, I'm like, that's just such a oddly specific. They want me to do it in Dark Souls 3 with it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to switch it up a little bit. For one, I'm going to do Dark Souls 1, because I've not really done a challenge run in it. And two, I decided to go with a plus 5 weapon, just because with regular Titanite shards, it brings it up to level 5. I just wanted it to look nice. You know, nice, even transition up. So in reality, this is almost like or at least how I played this was almost like a level 1 run, but slightly easier. So first off, I went ahead and collected some good collectibles, you know, souls, humanities, all the usual stuff in Firelink. And then I went down to the merchant. Now, some of you may not know, but with the exact souls you get from the Asylum Demon and beating up all the enemies, you have just enough to buy 999 wooden arrows. And so I wanted to just get to level 36 real quick, so I did this. And this is where I made probably my first mistake of the run. There will be more, but I knew I should probably level up Vitality and Attunement, because I was planning on being a Pyromancer. But I knew I probably would need a sword, so I was like, okay, what should I level? Strength, Dexterity? I couldn't really decide. In the end, I barely leveled Dexterity. And so that negated me from using a lot of, well, just in general better weapons. But for right now, I could still kind of one-shot basic enemies with this axe. Which, you know, it helped. I mean, those guys were a 2-shot. But anyways, we bring it up now to this boss right here. And he wasn't bad. Still, I am leveled up, but it's, you know, I don't got the build running yet. I go up here and I thought, maybe I tried to throw fireballs at him, but I ended up falling down. And I was luckily able to beat him before he got the shot off on me. And here, I went down to our good old friend Andre, and on the way, I grabbed the Claymore, because I decided this will be my weapon for the run. It's a pretty solid sword, and uses Titanite to upgrade, so might as well. It was better than what I had on hand, and well, you know, the Claymore's just good all-around greatsword. I fought the Baronique Knight, baiting out moves, hitting him with fire. Didn't like that he healed, but I just wanted to kill him so I could have usually I kill him for souls, and I kind of forgot I couldn't level up more. And then we made our way down here to the depths. Well, sorry, to this like side alley part. The whole goal is to get to the depths. See, I have not actually been down here in probably a few years. I have not I don't run Dark Souls 1 often, and typically I do the Master Key skip. So this was like one of my first deaths. Then over here was a huge pain. I just could not hit these dogs for the life of me. This run, out of everything I've ever done, was my unluckiest run I had ever had. I somehow did not die once fighting him once I was in here. I don't know what luck I had, but it was not much. But eventually I ran out of fireballs and just took him down with the sword, granting us the key. And then I definitely did not die again, as now we are here. Because for those who don't know, you can get a Pyromancer guy over here. And this is pretty handy because I was like, you know what? I can get more fireballs, I can get more spells, upgrade my Pyromancy glove. And, you know, so I go over here. forget how to answer him correctly because I'm definitely reading. I definitely read all that. Check his stuff and decide I need a few more souls. I want to make sure I get more spells, have enough to upgrade and not have to like stop halfway through. So once again, do the crowd favorite souls glitch. After forgetting to actually do it. I legitimately don't know how I forgot to do it. But either way, first tried it. Pick up the old souls. You know how it goes. And then, it may seem strange. Because, it can only go up to +5. So, I get it to +5. Then I actually went and bought the spells, didn't want to forget doing that. And then I brought it up to 8, 9, 10. And I went all the way up to level 15 for the Pyromancy glove. And I know what you're thinking, well, waiting, that's against the rules. And I'm like, that's true. I can only use a level 5 weapon. But some of you may not know, once you get the Pyromancy glove up to 15, you can find someone over here. You talk to them, they got a good bit to say. And, gotta make sure you don't get attacked while talking to them. But when you talk to them, they can ascend your Pyromancy glove, meaning it's no longer a plus 15, it's a regular glove that can be upgraded further even then. So, I take my level 1 glove and make it a +4. I didn't have the souls to make it +5, and I kind of didn't feel like it. And so, after I went on and did that, I realized it's time to take on the first Bell Protector, Quelaag. And so, moving on, like I said, so this is kind of why I wanted a good sword, because she, as you could probably have guessed, is pretty immune to fire. There are not many bosses in the run that will be, but, she was my main worry of this entire run. It was not easy. It was a lot of side strafing. And I'm actually kind of surprised I did it first try, because, just ran out of Estus, and, well, luckily, took her down. So, ran over here, we ring the bell, and underneath, there's a secret hidden little area. And if you can, if you join the Covenant and offer, I believe you only need to offer like 30 humanity, you get all the stuff you need from this Covenant. We'll get back to that Covenant stuff later, but for now, what I really cared about was the Fireball and the Flaming Chaos Pillars. These, to my understanding, again, my vague understanding, I did like no research for this. These are some of the most powerful spells in the game. Well, for Pyromancy at least. So, after doing that, we make our way back up and we're fighting Goldman. He does not really like my sword, which ain't nice, but it doesn't matter if he likes it or not, because he's gone. We pick up his humanity and finally try the build. I was intrigued on how well it would do, and I two-shot the first gargoyle. And so I'm like, let me try the other spell. Very long casting time, but definitely worth it, because that was super cool. Now, then I went to Sen's Fortress, and I gotta say, that boss definitely had me a lot more excited for how well my spells would do. And it was over here where I learned some things. Like, one, they have very limited range for the fireball. They don't go till they hit something, and they don't have the range like Soul Arrow does. It's very limited. And I'll show you in the next fight. Sometimes it just doesn't work. But either way, the Iron Golem, I ran out of spells, so I just kind of hacked at its kneecaps with my Claymore, and we made my way to Anor Londo. The Silver Knight here was a little bit difficult, just because he refused to comply, but I was able to parry and take him out with that. And now we're in Anor Londo, and I was kind of debating getting Solaire, but I decided not to. But for those who know how Soul Level 1 run, what's good and what's bad, you must know what he drops. So, I've never done it before, but I had to try it. And if those of you are upset because I killed the friendly blacksmith over here, you'll get your revenge. So, Ornstein and Smough taught me apparently that the hammer hitbox is not very good. I've typically, when I get here, I'm more than level 36. But now after fighting them here, I could see why it's not recommended to be a low level. So first attempt actually went pretty solid against Ornstein and Smough. Used my forecast to take him out, and then I went for Chaos Storm, which first didn't work, but then right underneath him, did pretty good. About half health, but then I started to just get comboed. Like legitimately right as I stood up there, comboed. And that's kind of how the next like 7 attempts went. I would literally get up and then immediately knock back down. Like one after the other after the other. Kind of sucks. Typically I would be pretty good against them. Then I also learned apparently if you throw a fireball at Smough when he's charging forward, his hammer will just block the shot. Which I did not know that. Which makes it even harder to hit him. I do not know why it's like that, but I'm not a fan of it. And also with all of his jumping, which you would not expect him to do, I would typically miss most of my shots. That one I really thought I was having it, but no. I also decided to take off Chaos Storm for the fireballs, just because I'm more comfortable with them than sitting down, and I feel like the Chaos Storm leaves you pretty vulnerable to do. I know it's pretty powerful, but I realized with fireballs I could fight them from a distance, and that's much safer than being up close. But either way, after quite a few deaths, I was able to take him down, and we keep moving and grooving onto Seath. Now, I had not placed the Lord Vessel yet. I decided, I'm going to do the normal thing and take out the hardest boss first. Why not do it for last? Well, because, I'm not going to get any stronger here. For note, I've only had the Favor and Protection ring on. I had not gotten any other ring, so I was like, well, might as well go for it. Now, Seath was annoying because every time I tried to go for a spell, they would backstep every time. So I literally just did most of my damage with the hammer. And then afterwards, made my way to the Four Kings. Now, my first attempt here kinda sucked. For most of this fight, I had a lot of bad RNG, if you couldn't tell what I said with Ornstein and Smough or with Seath. This one was crazy. I had never seen this in anything of my own, or for even like YouTube challenge runs. I got grabbed, and then, went back and healed, got in close, and he went for a grab again. I'm like, well, that's crazy. Then I'm like, okay, he won't do it a third time. He does it a third time. Then I'm like, okay, wow. Let me get out of here. And then died. This entire challenge run, I had so many things that some of it may have been my fault, but I also feel like, wow, I had not seen that before. Or at least in a while. I know I did a challenge run, if you check my channel a little bit ago, where I beat the Souls trilogy in one day. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. But other than that, I've not played Dark Souls 1 at least in half a year. So my memory just got the best of me. But either way, I went and put on Havel's armor, my personal favorite armor set in Dark Souls 1. And just took out the Four Kings. And, it's at this point in the video, you've made it pretty far. If you're enjoying it, maybe you should subscribe. I do challenge runs here and there. I do YouTube shorts daily about different stuff. I say I'm pretty entertaining. But either way, we talked to this big, weird-looking snake. He says a lot of stuff that I just didn't care to pay attention to. And we're doing all of this here. We're going to do the huge item duplication again. You know, just because I can. And I did all of this solely for an armor set. Personally, it's not Havel level so good, but it's still pretty cool looking. So afterwards, we decided to go to Seath to scale this. And of course I get cursed, because that's just my luck. With cursed, if you are unaware, that means I basically have no HP. Anyways, I made my way to Seath. When I got there were some clams, so I quit out. And you may have noticed, I'm still cursed. I could have gone and cured it, but honestly, I was kind of stubborn and kind of like, yeah, I gotta teleport back anyways later to go do the other bosses, so I'm gonna just stay cursed. And this was one of my great reminders that being a pyromancer was actually so cool, because I'm actually doing good damage. About like 400 a shot? Are you kidding me? That's pretty good. Then I ran out and just whacked him down with the lightning hammer, which probably would have been easier, but wouldn't have been as fun. So with him down, that's our good Lord Soul, and I decided to go do Nito next. You know, he's a okay fight. Just run in. It's like 3 swings. I've done runs where I'm way over leveled, and it's, I mean, like, you know, that typically be 4 swings. So at this point, I was actually a little impressed by the hammer. It's also at this point, I realized I don't have a light source. So I'm like, you know what? I've navigated this. I'm sure I'll be fine. All right, so we're going here first. I decided the Witch of Izalith, that's the way where you can get the Chaos bug, which will put a light source for you. So that's where we're going first. Well, next, not first. I wanted to see if he was immune to fire, because, you know, he got the ring because he feels the pain of fire. So I'm like, let me see if he can die to it. And he can't. Then we went and did the Witch of Chaos, or Bed of Chaos. I had already gone and done the other 2, died, and decided to just edit it all out, because it's a 5 to 10 minute run back, depending on how you go. And that sucks. And it's also a lot of footage in the video that no one cares to see. So we went along, and I got real nervous when I got here, because, I mean, I tried to lock on and swing, and then I see the Chaos Storm coming. I'm like, oh no, I'm not about to fumble this. But luckily I lived and took him out. Which means all that was left was Nito. 500 damage of Fireball. I think I'm doing alright. That was until I got trapped in the corner and died my first attempt. That was a little heartbreaking. It's such a long run back. But either way, next time around, he kills all of his own friends, which, skill issue, and we kill him instead. Now, at this point, I'm actually pretty confident. I know how to parry Gwyn. I know how to take him down. This should be quite simple. And I know people typically will parry with a small shield of some sort, but, you know, parrying with a shield, that's pretty lame. Take out the Black Knight for a little target practice and run all the way down for my first attempt at Gwyn. I thought I would try a Fireball just to see if I could hit it. Did not work. So I backed up, went for a heal, and I kind of forgot how aggressive this man is. Legitimately, I do not know what his problem is. Like I said, I've not really played the game in a while. And the rust really began to show. I first to second tried basically every single boss. Gwyn took me about a half hour. No, it took me more than a half hour, if I'm gonna be real with you guys. I just do not know why I could just not get it. And then my controller started doing some very silly things later. which made it worse, and my Xbox started having issues too. It started doing funny things like disconnecting. And once you've been fighting a boss for about an hour and then your controller starts doing stuff like this, you just get pretty upset. You lose it for a little bit. So that's why I decided I'm gonna go and get a better ring, because right now I had a parry riposte ring up, but I decided I'm gonna go and use spells instead. But I didn't have any good spell rings. So I went and talked to her, didn't really care for what she had to say, bought the residence key and the repair box in case I need it. And I ran all the way down to get this man, talked to him, didn't really care for what he had to say, and went back. I went and bought both of the rings. I had to go pop more souls to get it, whatever. And this entire challenge run, like I said, most of this was easy. It was an easier level 1 challenge. If you guys were, typically I like to recommend runs or talk about them at the end. There's not really much to say about this one afterwards. I mean, as long as you can have a good connecting controller and you know how to parry better than I do apparently, this will probably be pretty easy. Now, once again, like I said, that's if you know how to do it. But eventually, once I had the idea of what to do, I realized a big issue I had too was my poise. If I just keep getting knocked down, then of course I'm not going to make it. I kept getting hit out of the animations. So I realized I needed to work on my timing. And then Gwyn started doing this silly thing called not doing the same startup run at the same time every single time. He would switch it up, do different stuff. Which, like, yeah, cool. Now I can't properly time when the Chaos Storm because you're always moving around. That's great. After a few times, I was finally able to, I wouldn't say perfect it, but I got lucky. That's all there ever is to. When it comes to Chaos Storm, all you can get is lucky. Chaos and Firestorm. And one last swing of the hammer. And this challenge is done. To you who challenged me to this, I will have a little bit of spite solely because that Gwyn fight was extraordinarily awful. And to also spite Gwyn, we're going with the Age of Dark. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed my suffering, leave a like and subscribe. And if you got any more challenge runs, leave them in the comments. I can do them. I got no ideas. So, yeah, that's all.